Have you ever dreamed of walking into your local bank, handing over a stack of Iraqi dinars, and walking out minutes later with US dollars? It sounds like a scene from a movie, but in 2025, this is becoming a reality. Across the United States, banks are quietly starting to offer walk-in exchange services for the Iraqi dinar, and the word is spreading like wildfire. For years, anyone holding dinars was stuck dealing with obscure online dealers or hard-to-find private buyers. It was a complicated, often frustrating process. But now that's all changing. We're hearing more and more reports of people making effortless exchanges right at the teller window. This isn't just a small tweak. It's a complete overhaul of how banks are treating this currency. Some people are getting cash in minutes, while others are seeing the money deposited into their accounts the very same day. These aren't isolated incidents. They point to something much bigger, a potential shift in global currency markets that could have far-reaching effects. Think about it. Financial institutions do, and just reconfigure their entire systems for a foreign currency on a whim. Training frontline staff, upgrading software, and getting all the necessary regulatory approvals that takes a massive investment of time and money. The fact that major banks are now willing to handle walk-in dinar exchanges sends a powerful signal. It suggests a significant change in their expectations for this currency's future. We're seeing accounts from multiple states confirming these smooth, efficient transactions. People who've held on to dinars for years, sometimes decades, are finally able to exchange them with minimal hassle. And while the exchange rates might vary from bank to bank, the trend is undeniable. Walk-in acceptance of the Iraqi dinar is happening, and it's happening nationwide. For long-term holders, this opens up a world of new possibilities. Let's look at a real-world example. Sarah from Texas told us she walked into her local bank last week with about 500,000 dinars. She had tucked away for over 2 years. She honestly wasn't sure what to expect. But to her complete surprise, the teller immediately started processing the exchange. Less than 30 minutes later, she walked out with cash in hand. This is a world away from the old days, when you'd likely be told to use some niche mail-in service. Today the process is direct, fast, and surprisingly simple. Then there's Michael in Florida. He visited 3 different bank branches in one day. 2 of them gave him cash on the spot, and the third completed the exchange before the bank closed. These first-hand stories paint a clear picture of a nationwide trend. Banks aren't just prepared for dinar exchanges. They're executing them with remarkable speed and precision. So why this sudden shift? To understand what's happening, we need to look at history. Time and time again, countries emerging from crisis have seen their currencies bounce back as their economies stabilize. Think about Kuwait after the Gulf War, Germany after World War II, or even Vietnam during its modernization. In every one of these cases, people who held on to the currency through the tough times often saw incredible returns once the recovery took hold. Banks know these historical patterns inside and out, and it looks like they're positioning themselves for a potential repeat with Iraq. By getting their tellers and systems ready now, these institutions are making sure they can handle a surge in demand or a significant change in the dinar's value. This level of preparation is highly unusual and suggests that, behind closed doors, the financial world is watching Iraq's progress very, very closely. The case of Kuwait offers the most compelling parallel. After the 1991 Gulf War, the Kuwaiti dinar was practically worthless, and its economy was in ruins. But citizens who held onto their notes were rewarded for their patience. As oil production ramped up and international confidence returned, the Kuwaiti dinar's value skyrocketed by more than 3,000%. Turning modest holdings into small fortunes, observers of the Iraqi dinar see echoes of this scenario. Iraq has immense oil wealth and is in the middle of a massive reconstruction effort. If Iraq follows a similar path to recovery, today's dinar holders could be in a prime position. Of course, no 2 situations are identical, but the lesson is powerful. When an economy stabilizes after a major disruption, its currency can experience a dramatic revaluation. Germany after World War II is another powerful example. The old currency had collapsed, and people were resorting to bartering. When the new Deutschmark was introduced, many were skeptical. But as Germany's economic miracle took shape, the currency grew stronger and stronger, becoming one of the most trusted in the world by the 1960s. Those who held it early saw enormous gains. Again, banks understand this history. Their decision to prepare for Iraqi dinar exchanges suggests they are undismissing the possibility of a similar turnaround. In this case, their preparation speaks volumes. And let's not forget Vietnam in the 1980s and 90s. The country was battling high inflation and an unstable currency, the dong. But as Vietnam opened up to foreign trade and investment, the economy stabilized and the currency gained strength. While the gains weren't as explosive as Kuwait's, they were still significant for early holders. Today, Iraq shows some similar signs: gradual economic stabilization, growing infrastructure projects, and increasing foreign investment. The banks moving to accept the dinar seem to be acknowledging these positive economic signals, getting ready for what might come next. So, we're in uncharted territory. What was once a slow, inconvenient process is now as simple as a trip to the bank. This shift required banks to invest heavily in software, training, and security changes they don't make lightly. The fact that these upgrades are appearing in multiple states at the same time suggests a coordinated, forward-thinking strategy. For anyone holding dinars, this means unprecedented access and flexibility. A process that once took weeks can now be done in minutes. However, it's important to be realistic. Not every single bank branch is participating yet. You might need to check a few locations. You'll also need proper identification, like a driver's license or passport. And there might be limits on how much you can exchange at one time. But the key takeaway is that the network of participating banks is growing fast. Every week, more branches are coming online, expanding access across the country. Of course, the big question on everyone's mind is the potential for future appreciation. Financial experts always caution that currency speculation is risky and unpredictable. But the fact that banks are preparing for a scenario where demand could rise sharply is a very telling development. For current dinar holders, this is a clear signal to stay informed. Keep an eye on Iraq's economic news developments, and oil, infrastructure, and foreign investment are all clues. The ability to exchange at a local bank gives you the flexibility to act quickly if conditions change. The bottom line is this: the landscape for the Iraqi dinar in 2025 has been completely transformed. Walk-in services are a reality, offering immediate access to liquidity. History has shown us that currencies can see incredible comebacks, and while there are no guarantees, the actions of the banks suggest they see potential in Iraq's recovery. For anyone involved, the message is clear: stay alert, be flexible, and make your decisions based on solid information, not hype. Whether you decide to exchange now or hold on, this new system has opened doors that were firmly shut for a very long time. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this information helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our future updates on this developing story. We'll see you in the next video.